Do you remember a time in the early 90s when men were men and women were women? A time before social media, a time before the internet? Let me take you back to 1992 when the BBC decided to traumatise a nation. Today, I want to talk about Ghostwatch. What's up, guys? It's Mike the Real Fifth Beatle back with another video, and today I want to talk about 1992's Ghostwatch, a TV movie from my childhood. I was 16 when it aired live. It's getting a 30th anniversary Blu-ray restoration releasing in the next couple of months, I believe, to coincide with the 30th anniversary. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk about Ghostwatch for a few minutes, because it's a movie that I think has gained in recognition over the years, especially with an American audience who were late to the party with it in some respects, because it was out of print for the longest time. It's never been repeated on the BBC. I think they released a DVD about 10 years ago, and it's recently been shown on Shudder. But this whole Blu-ray release is going to open up to a new audience again. And with it being the 30th anniversary, I just thought it was a good time to talk about my experiences of it, my recollections. And, you know, because I think there's a lot of people talk about Ghostwatch, but, you know, I've not really seen that many people online, YouTube, who've experienced it live on the night. So I just wanted to take this opportunity. It's something I've done in live streams a couple of times, but I just wanted to condense it into just a short video to talk about my experiences, because I think it's something that I think if you're in the UK and you're of a certain age and you remember it, it's something, you know, you'll have your own experiences. And please, if you do watch this video and you watched it live in the UK, please leave a comment below about how you experienced it. So I went into it as a 16-year-old with literally no idea. I'd seen very little hype about it. This was before the internet, don't forget, before social media. So it was very easy to trick a nation, which is what Ghostwatch did. It basically fooled an entire nation and traumatized the nation. I went into this film, TV movie, I suppose you could call it, mockumentary, documentary, whatever you want to call it. It kind of covers a lot of bases. But I went into it blind. All I knew was Michael Parkinson was presenting. You had Mike Smith, and Sarah Green, who were like a real life husband and wife at that time, I believe. You had Craig Charles, who was better known as Lister from Red Dwarf. He was kind of like the comedic effect for the whole setup. But going into it with Michael Parkinson as the TV presenter, I was totally sold. I never occurred to me that Michael Parkinson would be involved in something that wasn't quite legit, you know. So I think a lot of people were sold on Michael Parkinson being front and center, because American audiences probably can't appreciate just how big Michael Parkinson was on TV in the 90s. He was kind of like our David Letterman or like RJ Leno. He was a big talk show host. So the whole setup regarding that was just, I was completely on board. And obviously it's all about, you know, a paranormal possession of a house in North London based on the Enfield poltergeist, which they turned into a movie for The Conjuring 2. And you have young mother with her two young daughters who are experiencing, you know, psychic phenomenon in the house. Looking back, I think it's fairly clear that, you know, the young mother and the two young daughters, they were clearly actors, but at the time, you weren't looking for that. So we never really spotted it. You know, if we weren't thinking, oh, this is all set up. As a 16-year-old, I was completely sold again. Lynn Pascoe, who sits in the studio with Michael Parkinson and to take phone calls, she's kind of like the psychic phenomena expert, if you so to speak. Yeah, looking back, she's clearly an actor, and she's not a particularly good actor, but again, that kind of plays into the realism, because you're not looking for somebody to be a good actor if you believe it's real. So it's only when you watch it back and know that it's fake that you think, yeah, she's a pretty bad actor. But Michael Parkinson certainly sells it. You know, Sarah Green and Mike Smith do an admirable job. Sarah Green is involved in, you know, one of the biggest jump scares in TV history, you know, with pipes behind the door. That was just, even though at this point I think most people knew it was fake. That was still a jump scare moment, because and it was well earned as well. It's not like this wasn't the sort of TV show which had jump scares left, right, and centre. It built up to them. It did a good job. Another thing it did really well is Pipes, who was like kind of like our antagonist throughout the whole show, movie, whatever you want to call it. He's not really visible until you rewatch the footage and like watch YouTube videos where you can see him. Because at the time, I only saw Pipes once, but if you watch YouTube videos back of like of the making of Ghostwatch, and he pops up, probably like a dozen times. And they did a really cool thing where they showed him in the girl's bedroom, and people were ringing up saying they'd seen him in the bedroom. And what they do is they play it back, and he wouldn't be seen. So it kind of played with so it was like playing with the audience's imagination, because apparently if you watch it you can see something, and when you play it back he's gone. So I don't know whether that was just something they did to play with the minds of the audience, but it worked a treat. As it progresses, it does get slightly ridiculous. Michael Parkinson being possessed by God knows what and starting to speak like nursery rhymes, at that point, and the whole set started to collapse. That's when it's clearly jumped the shark. But in terms of the impact it had, I mean, this traumatized a nation. Somebody allegedly killed themselves after watching it. I don't know how true that is. A man apparently shit his pants after watching it, and then demanded that the BBC pay for the bill for his stained trousers or underpants, whatever you want to call them. They had to go on children's TV and apologise. A couple of the cast members to kids to reassure them that it wasn't real. And this is the golden thing about the early 90s and any time before that with TV. It's social media and the internet have ruined this sort of thing. You couldn't get away with this now. People would be on board straight away. People would be on Twitter calling it out, calling it fake. At that time, there was nothing. All we could do is discuss it amongst ourselves in our living rooms, and discuss it at school the next day. People would discuss it at work the next day. And it really, really did just have such an impact. The BBC never repeated it. To this day, it's never been shown on TV. It would be nice if they repeated it for the 30th anniversary. Maybe they could freak out a new generation of kids. But that's it, guys. I was just very, very quick video. I just wanted to discuss Ghostwatch in just one video rather than in the middle of a stream. Also, I would say, if anybody is not subscribed to my channel who watches this, would you please consider subscribing? Please consider liking the video. And if anybody's got any movies that they'd like me to discuss in kind of like a long form, not a review, just if anyone's got any suggestions for me for a movie to watch and talk about, please leave it in the comments below, because I'm trying to get this channel moving forward a little bit. I'm very lazy at times, and I need that sort of kick up the backside to do more content as well as just live streams. And I don't think the algorithms really like people who just do one live stream a week for an hour or two. So I'm trying to give myself a push to start making more content. But really, that's where I need you guys to sort of give me the incentive to just recommend movies to watch and then to give feedback on. Because I think it's really, if you like a movie and you think nobody ever talks about it, it's cool. It's cool to put it out there for someone who's got a channel to talk about, and especially if it's a more obscure film and you think that nobody ever gives any attention to, put it my way. I'll watch it and I'll talk about it. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please consider liking the video. Please definitely consider subscribing if you're not already.